Okay, so I'm going to start off my video post by answering the first question. I think I do understand the distinction that Grady has made between his sexuality and his gender, because his gender is the role that he has changed, and his sexuality has remained the same throughout the whole book. So his gender, at first, he was labeled as a female because of his parts, labeled by the doctors, by society, by his family. However, he never felt like a female inside, even though he did have the characteristics of a female. But his sexuality, he was always attracted to women, and he is not. He is transgendered because the gender that society has expected him to play out, which is female, is not who he really is, so he's really a male. But that doesn't mean that he's gay, because even though he has the female reproductive parts, since he feels like a man inside, that is what makes his sexuality heterosexual, because since he identifies himself as a male, he's always been attracted to females, which would make sense, or I guess the normal heterosexual male is attracted to females, obviously. And for the second question, I think that part echoed the life because it was all just a big act. It was a big act that Grady was pretending to be a girl because that's what he thought that he was supposed to be. And so that play echoed Angela's life of acting out what it's like to be a woman, even though that's not really who Grady was. And one part of the Christmas extravaganza that really hit home for me was when they were going through the box of clothes that they had to wear, and Angela's old outfit, which was a dress, when the alteration of genders came about and Angela turned into Grady, he was no longer allowed to wear the dress because that wasn't who he was. But one part of this that I really have trouble with is the fact that Grady really hated the fact that there were roles, and that there were categories and labels such as male and female. And then I find it interesting that because he had worn a dress, that somehow made him less of a male, like he felt like. I couldn't really put my head around that part because, to me, the role of gender, it is just a role, and it shouldn't matter what you're wearing. It should be more of a intuition, I guess I would say. I can't explain it any other way than that. So I can see how your apparel should reflect what you feel inside, but at the same time, he made these own labels. Like, even though he was so against the labels, he still went along with, okay, since I am a male, I can't wear a dress. I need to wear male clothes now. So that was really kind of confusing for me. And then for number 3, on the gender football field, I think that most people would be somewhere in the middle because everybody, based on the gender roles that we're supposed to have, I think everybody has personality traits that are a little bit of both. But if you look at it in the terms of sexuality and who they're attracted to, that would be a little bit different because if, all of the people that are attracted to women would be on one side, and all of the people that are attracted to men would be on one side, and that has nothing to do with gender. And then number 4, so we know that Grady got his period on the first day that he was a boy, and I think this complicates our understanding of the gender identity because, I guess people would think, how can he understand what it's like to be a boy if he gets something that is so feminine? So from my perspective, I see this as like he is a boy that understands women, but that doesn't make him less of a boy. Like the fact that he got his period, I don't think it makes him any less of a boy because in the same way, a boy who cries, that doesn't make him any less of a boy or a man or whatever term you want to use. And I think that those traits and personality characteristics, even physical characteristics, have nothing to do with the gender that you identify with. And that is it.